Did you ever wonder what would happen if a spanning tree stopped working? I was working down at Disney World back many years ago, and that actually happened. It was about 3 in the afternoon, which is a prime time for guests to check into the resorts. And it seemed that around Epcot, the resorts were not able to check in guests. This is around the Yacht and Beach Club, the Boardwalk resorts. And guests were just wandering around the lobby because they couldn't get into the room, they couldn't get their tickets to go to the park. And we got in the company van and we went over to Epcot. And actually, even though there's not a full tunnel system there, there is an underground area. We went down about 3 floors under what was called Future World at that time. And that's where the wiring closet was for Epcot. And they had a Cisco catalyst switch. And we started doing some investigating. And pretty quickly we determined we have a broadcast storm. And sure enough, it was a modular switch with a supervisor engine with 2 connections, making it a redundant connection. Well, we decided that it's better to have a functional yet not redundant network than a redundant and not functional network. So to resolve the issue, we just pulled the plug on one of the connections, and then everything started working. But prior to that, when we did have that layer 2 topological loop, it pretty much just froze up the terminals in the resorts where they couldn't do any operations. There was just too much broadcast traffic circulating and circulating around the Epcot network. And then somebody went back during off hours and swapped out the supervisor engine where spanning tree had failed and put everything back in a redundant state. But that's an example of what can happen if a spanning tree, as great as it is, if it were to fail.